Hi everybody, happy Monday. It's nice to see you again. My name's Dr. Erica Barron and this is our head technician, Ellen Carosa, here at Nova Cat Clinic in Arlington, Virginia. We apologize, we've been really busy. August is always the busiest month in vet hospitals, it's just how it is. So we're sorry that there's been a delay in our videos, and we'll do part 2 of IBD hopefully on Wednesday if we're not too busy. We don't have a lot of time today, so we just wanted to do something short that was brought to our attention by one of our clients, and we want to talk about doing daily checks on your cats and how important they are. So Ellen, why don't you take it away, and we'll start with Ellen.
Well, actually, it's super important when you get up in the morning. The first thing is to do that head count to make sure all of your pets are present, accounted for, nobody's missing, and nothing's wrong with them. Because a lot of times we get the panicking phone call at like 7:30 in the morning, as soon as those phones are turned on, that something has happened overnight to your pet. And sometimes, we can accommodate it, sometimes we can't, sometimes we send you to emergency because, we don't have a doctor in the building until nearly 9 a.m.
What's your 8:15 today?
Monday through Friday. So it's super important to make sure that when you're getting ready for bed at night and you get up in the morning, you make sure everybody's okay. So if there are subtle signs of something not right, make sure you check on it, because the sooner you figure out something's going wrong, the sooner it can be addressed and treated. And unfortunately, the one client that we did have bring up the issue of how important it is to check on your pets every morning is because she woke up to one of her cats completely covered in blood.
Yes, that was very shocking.
It was very
That's
shocking.
okay now.
That's okay now.
That's okay now.
But it's an emergency situation, and these things like this can happen. So it's really important. So on top of just doing a head count and stuff, what should clients be looking for if things could be possibly wrong?
Good question. So number 1, if your cat's covered in blood, just bring him in. Go to the ER.
That's an emergency. Blood's an emergency.
Blood is an emergency. Cats don't bleed like that unless there's something wrong. So just bring them in. You want to check their breathing. If you're looking at the cat and you're like, I'm noticing you breathing a lot. Like, I feel like most of the time you don't really notice cats breathing. I don't know if you feel that way, but, if a cat is open mouth breathing, most cats would rather be dead than open mouth breathe. I don't know what it is. They find it offensive. Maybe they think tongues are gross. I don't know. But if you notice your cat open mouth breathing, or if there's like a marked abdominal component, or they're like crouched and like,
right,
not normal, bring them in.
Right, and then we're not talking about I've been playing with this feather teaser, I'm panting because I'm overworked. We're talking about your cat is sitting on the couch or on the floor or under your bed, whatever, doing these abnormal situations.
Right. And then, just normal things, like if you go to refill the food and there's no food missing, or, there's no water missing, or you go look in the box and there's no poop, or there's a lot of poop.
There's no pee, God help
or
me.
There's a lot of pee. Those are things to think about, and, it depends on what's going on, but for me, if there's blood everywhere, if there's an issue with the breathing, those are reasons to come in right away. If they didn't eat just overnight and they usually eat, it depends. I usually err on the side of coming right in, but, there's a lot of different reasons they could be doing what they're doing. So you need to consider all of that. So that's sort of like the daily check you should do. Like, I know when I wake up in the morning, my cats both sleep with me. I usually wake up because I rolled over and my little cat got mad, so she bit my foot, and then I'm like, oh, cool, my alarm's gonna go off anyway. So it's sort of like if they're not doing their normal things, you should think about that. The other thing is, if you don't work at home, if you're gone all day and you notice your cat didn't eat breakfast, you might not want to wait until you come home at 5 or 6 to check on them. You might want to go home midday and be like, you still haven't eaten. Maybe we should see if we can get you seen today. Or, unfortunately or fortunately, the ER is always open. I know it can be expensive, and I know maybe they don't have that same relationship you have with your regular veterinarian, but they're there, and they're there for a reason. So you might consider, like, okay, if I can't get into my regular vet, I'll go here. So Ellen, what are some of the things, if you are out of town and someone's checking on your cats every day, what are some of the things you want them to make sure they're checking?
Well, hopefully, even if you're just going away for a long weekend, and we did a lot of this, is should I have a pet sitter for I'm only gone 2 days? yes, you should have somebody come and check on your pets once a day. Just because you think you can leave out a gigantic bowl of food and water does not mean your cat is going to get bored and get into trouble, because they can. So even if you have your neighbor's kids or your neighbor come on in and check on them, you know, at least somebody is doing a head count and making sure everything is okay, because the last thing you want to do is to come home from a long weekend to an emergency, because it does happen.
Happens a lot, unfortunately.
It does, and it's unfortunate because sometimes these cats get very, very sick even over a long weekend. Some cats won't eat the entire weekend. Some cats eat to the point that they gorge themselves, they make them sick in a different way, and we wind up with that. But we've had some cats that, you know, people have come on in and they've had a cardiac episode, and they walk in on that Monday morning from their trip and their pet has passed away because they didn't know something was going on and nobody checked in on them to see if something was happening. So, you know, when you're getting ready to go on a trip, etc., and you're getting ready to leave with a pet sitter and have your pets being, you know, monitored by them, things to let them know is your pet's habits, so they know what kind of routine your pet has. Make sure that you write a letter or an email to your veterinary clinic stating who is taking care of your pets, so we know that if something does happen, we are able to actually care for them appropriately, and we know what to watch out for. It all takes is 5 minutes of your time to let us know that you're going out of town, someone's watching your pet, and we know if there's a problem that's happening, we can go ahead and treat them appropriately, because the last thing you want to happen is, like, you're not the owner, we can't see this pet.
Right.
Because that's one problem that a lot of people tend to have in the area, is they try to go and get emergency care, and the hospital will be like, sorry, you're not the owner, we need to get a contact in them, and the person could be in Europe in a different time zone, and we can't get a hold of them.
Japan.
Right,
really
so it's
hard.
super important
to
to give permission for treatment if you guys do go away for the weekend, because emergencies do happen, and we see actually quite a few of them.
And by law, pets are personal property. Pros and cons to that. We're not going to go into that, but by law, they're your property. So it's like if someone walked into your house and was like, "Oh, I'm taking care of the house. There's a leak. I need someone to fix it." And the plumber's like, "Well, do you own the house?" And you say, "No."
Yep.
I think the plumber would still take some money.
Probably.
If I were a plumber, I would.
But so it's really important to make sure you have that line of communication open, that we can go ahead and take care of your pets. But the point of today's talk is you have got to make sure that you account for your special furry friend every single day, preferably more than once a day. And
most cats make you look at them more than once.
They do, and if they're out of sync with any of their habits, etc., that can be a red flag that something is about to happen, and you want to make sure you're on top of it before running into a problem that could have been addressed a lot sooner.
So thanks for spending this time with us today. If you have any questions or concerns, feel free to comment below. If you have any topics you want us to cover, just let us know. Thank you so much. I can't see that far. Katrin Jones, we appreciate your comment. And if anyone needs anything, just let us know, because we might just say, hey, you got to go to your vet, but we'll help however we can. Thanks, and have a great one.
Bye-bye.